Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about two credit cards from Chase, that being the Chase Saphire Preferred and the Chase Saphire Reserve. We are going to be doing a comparison of the two cards, as well as me giving my thoughts on both the cards and trying to answer the question of which credit card is better. Now these are both travel credit cards from Chase, and they do both come along with an annual fee. The Saphire Preferred has a $95 annual fee, while the Saphire Reserve has a $550 annual fee. So as you can see right there, just right off the bat, you can tell that the Saphire Reserve might be aimed at a slightly higher tier clientele, being that for someone to pay $550 a year for a credit card, even if it can get you great value, it might take a slightly higher tier banking customer. And also something we like to look at initially is the introductory bonus. On the Preferred, we are seeing an 80,000 ultimate reward points bonus right now for $4,000 in spending in the first 3 months. And this is really good. There is a special 25% added value when you use ultimate rewards with this card, which is another great feature if you redeem it for travel, which can be worth up to $1,000. But for this, it's a good safe bet to just look at this in terms of your cash back, it being $800 of cash back for a $95 annual fee, which right off the bat is pretty good value. You could essentially have this credit card for 8 years, assuming they never change the annual fee, and you're going to essentially get that for free, being that the introductory bonus you got initially has paid for that annual fee every year. Now, likely the annual fee is going to go up over time, and this bonus might change over time, but that is a really good way to think about this credit card, and something that we're going to talk about a little bit more in a second, as that could be a benefit for a lot of people. Now, on the Saphire Reserve, we see kind of a different story. We have a 50,000 bonus point offer for the same $4,000 in spending in the first 3 months. We do see a 50% bonus when you redeem through Ultimate Rewards or Pay Yourself Back, worth $750, but for this, it is a safe bet to just look at this in terms of cash back. This would be $500 in cash back compared to the $800 you'd be getting from the Preferred. Now, this is coming along with a $550 annual fee. So just looking at that, in your first year with this credit card, you might not get positive value if you don't make use of the card completely. Now, there are a bunch of benefits that we're going to talk about in a second that will kind of push you over that and should give you really good value if this is the right card for you. But it is something to look at, just in terms of the introductory bonus and what you're getting there. So the Preferred is a slightly lower tier credit card, not by much, but it is a lower tier card generally than the Reserve. It might be aimed at a slightly different clientele than the Reserve, and for a lot of people, this might be one of the first annual fee credit cards they get. And this is by design. There is a really, really solid introductory offer that really makes sense to get. If you just look at it compared to anything else out there right now, there aren't many credit cards that you can get a $95 annual fee and an $800 bonus for just signing up and spending that initial $4,000. There are a lot of credit cards with no annual fee that will maybe get you $200 or $300 back, but for one credit card to get you that $700 just positive value in cash back in that first 3 months of having the card for that spending is really solid. And that is a way that this credit card might appeal to people who are just getting into the credit card game, or they're maybe thinking about this is their first credit card that's going to have an annual fee and they want to see how it goes. But we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. Now, we do see some of the main benefits with this card being the earning rates. There's, of course, 3x on streaming, 3x on online grocery, which is a really interesting deal, 3x on dining. This isn't too special. This is the same deal you can get with some no annual fee credit cards, even from Chase, that being the Freedom Unlimited and the Freedom Flex. 2x on travel, which is solid. This is aimed as more of a travel credit card, so that is something important to keep in mind. 5x points on travel purchase through Chase, which is pretty solid. This, however, is the same rate you'll get for a lot of no annual fee credit cards through Chase, like the Freedom Unlimited and the Freedom Flex, so I wouldn't look too much into this. However, there is that $50 Ultimate Reward hotel credit, which, if you're booking through Ultimate Rewards, is really good and effectively will bring your annual fee down to $45 if you can make use of this in a good way. So that's really, really important to make note of too. So right now there is also this Peloton offer that goes along with the card, which is pretty interesting, but isn't too significant for most people, as it doesn't really work for a lot of people. And for some people, it's a great option, but for a lot of people, it won't really make a difference. In the past, this card has had a few other offers going along with it. There was recently a DoorDash offer that was removed, as well as a Lyft offer that was removed. However, this is subject to change in the future. We could have new offers in the next few months that we don't have right now. So just looking at this overview of the card, In my opinion, the most significant benefits to this card in general are this 3x in streaming, 3x on online grocery, and then the really solid introductory bonus. Now, keeping that in mind, we're going to move back over to the Saphire Reserve. Of course, we're seeing a less significant introductory bonus here, a much higher annual fee. However, there is this $300 annual travel credit, which effectively, if you can make use of this, would effectively bring your annual fee down to $250, which is pretty solid for what you can get with the card. Now, we are seeing this 3x on dining at restaurants. This is, again, solid, but this is something you can get with some no annual fee cards from Chase, so I don't like to stick around on this one too much. 10x on Chase dining with Ultimate Rewards. This is solid if you can make use of it, but for a lot of people, this won't really be too helpful, depending on what your restaurant spending habits are. 3x on travel, and then, of course, this is going to come after your initial $300 credit is used up, but this is really where this credit card starts to come into play in a really significant way. This credit card is really going to be for people who are spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year on travel, and they're going to be really getting good value out of this 3x points, as well as that $300 credit, and that's really where this card separates itself from the Saphire Preferred. We also do get this 5x on flights when you purchase through Ultimate Rewards, and then 10x on hotels and car rentals you purchase through Ultimate Rewards. These are, again, really interesting offers, and if you can book through Ultimate Rewards and get a good rate, this is a really good benefit. However, in a lot of cases, this doesn't end up being the best deal, so you kind of have to fall back on that 3x, which, again, is still pretty solid. Another feature of this card that really focuses on travelers is the Global Entry or TSA PreCheck, of course, the Nexus Application Fee Statement Credit. Really, this is going to cater towards people who travel, and while it's not a huge benefit right here, up to $100 every 4 years, break that down, $25 a year, not huge, but if you are already paying for these things, this is going to be a great card to have to kind of get that benefit back. And then really one of the main benefits of this card being a travel credit card is this Priority Pass Select membership. So for people who are traveling a lot, they might be going to lounges, and a really big benefit of going to a lounge is that you don't have to sit in the airport. If you have a long layover, you can hang out there instead of sitting in the gate area or walking around restaurants. And comparing this to what Priority Pass costs normally, so what we have here is just the Priority Pass fee table. This is pretty much annual fee versus what you're going to be paying to enter the lounge. Of course, they have the $100 a year program. You're going to pay $32 every visit. $300, you can get 10 free visits. That's $32 a visit. And then the Prestige plan, $430, and then all of your visits are going to be free, which is a pretty solid benefit. Another benefit of the Chase card is that normally with Priority Pass, you're going to pay an extra $32 for a guest. However, with the Saphire Reserve, you actually get 2 guests for free, and then it's going to be $27 a guest. So if you usually travel with a +1, this could be a great benefit for you. And if you're just traveling in general, maybe you're traveling 20, 30 times a year, and you want to go to those lounges, you'd probably be best off buying this plan here. If you're going to go to Priority Pass lounges, $430. The effective annual fee after you take off this $300 travel credit is $250. So right there, you might already get all that value back and more just through the lounge access. And that's really where these cards separate themselves. The Saphire Reserve is really that top tier travel credit card. For those people that are traveling and spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year plus, they're going to be getting that 3x points on travel, and that's going to really start adding up over the 2x that you get on the Preferred. As well, you're going to be making use of this $300 travel credit, and of course your Priority Pass lounge access. That's really the way that this card starts to reel itself in and being a little bit more affordable than the annual fee makes it out to be. Of course, in the Saphire Preferred, you do get a slightly better travel earn than the 1x that you get on most spending, but 2x isn't too exceptional, and this is really why this is more of an entry-level travel credit card for a lot of people. This might be the card you start out with, maybe a few years down the line you feel like it's a pretty solid card, and you want to move into something that will get you a little bit more value in the long term. Maybe you're spending a little bit more on travel, that sort of thing. So I hope this video was kind of helpful to show you the differences between the cards, as well as who each card might work better for. Just to review, Preferred generally is going to be someone who's newer to credit cards. Maybe this is their first credit card with an annual fee. It has a few benefits that extend just beyond travel in terms of the online grocery purchase category, as well as the streaming service category. Then the reserve is going to be more of that credit card that someone's going to use that's spending a lot of money traveling every year. They're going to get good value out of this 3x earn rate. They're also going to be able to make use of this $300 travel credit. And they're going to be making use of that Priority Pass lounge access without having to buy a Priority Pass membership. If you guys have either the reserve or the preferred, I want to hear which one you started with. Maybe if you moved from one to the other, if you've had one the whole time. Maybe you moved from one to the other and then you decided to go back to the other one. And if you think you're getting good value out of it. One thing I do want to also mention is that you can't have both the preferred and the reserve at the same time, as stated right here. And generally, that doesn't hurt most people, being that a lot of the benefits do overlap. However, it is something just to keep in mind. As with a lot of other credit card companies, you can actually have a lot of their similar credit cards. For example, with American Express, you can have both the gold and the platinum card. Also, if you guys have any other questions, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video.